Welcome back, YouTube, to a brand new video. Today I'm taking you guys through what it's like to be a day in the life of a helicopter pilot and as a mechanic. I also am a mechanic. I'm not sure if I've said it. I'm an AMP aircraft mechanic. So I have one or two things on the schedule today that I have to get done. So I'm going to take you guys along and show you what I do. It's all helicopter related, so it's a little interesting. Not a lot of people, I think, get to see that. So I will be taking you guys through the whole day, vlogging it and whatnot. So first stop is the hangar, where I'm going out there. I got a couple things to do at the hangar before I fly the R-22. So yeah, I'm gonna take you guys along. Again, starts up at about 7 a.m. right now. Get out to the hangar in about 10 minutes. And yeah, I'll pull the helicopter out. And it's a cold day, so it's gonna be a really cold start. So let's get into it. You can see, not a whole lot going on. But I brought a tarp today, because I want to try something new when I warm up the helicopter. So we'll see how it goes. All right, just pulled the bird out. Here's my plan here. So as you can see on the 22, the engine is completely exposed. Reason why is it's better for cooling. I think also now on the 44s, it's enclosed. But the problem is the oil gets really, really cold and then won't turn and start. So the idea here is to heat up the oil at the bottom of the crankcase, and the best way to do that is with a heater, so or a block heater. Some manufacturers make like a heater you can put overnight, you know, or a couple hours before you fly. I don't have that, so I'm going to use this little jet engine thing I'm going to show you guys here, and the whole goal is just to heat it up. All right, here's my little jet engine. That thing gets really hot, and I'm gonna use a tarp and basically enclose this whole thing here, the whole backside of the helicopter, and hopefully that'll generate enough heat to let it start. Otherwise, it just won't start. If I took it up right now and tried to start it, it will not start no matter what. So that's what I have to do in order to start the helicopter in really cold days. Let me set the camera up and get started on this. Got my jet engine, got my tarp, helicopter. I'm gonna put this tarp somehow with tape, snug it in around this back end. So I got my camera right here. Let's see if this works. All right, check out this finished product. Oh, we got the blue tarp hanging around the whole thing, and then inside it's just trying to keep the heat in. So I don't know if this is gonna work, but it's a good effort. So let's turn this beast on. See if she starts up. All went well in the start up there, so that's all good. It's getting nice and warm in here because the heater works fantastic. I just turned that on. All looks good. I'm gonna give it an extended warm up today, at least 3 minutes, just to get the oil temperature and cylinder head temperature up before we start moving. I'm gonna get my route in here to Charlie's hangar. See how far away we are. It's not too bad, right through Spirit's airspace. Preheat that intake air, nav lights on. Okay, everything looks good. I'm gonna pull it up to a hover, do a little hover pre-takeoff check, call our departure, and start heading out of here. There is like no wind today, which is nice. So yeah, we're gonna just get out of here. All right, pre-takeoff check looks good. Yeah, the wind is calm today. St. Charles traffic, helicopter 9390 tells at Skylink to make a direct departure to the southwest. St. Charles.
St. Charles traffic, Skyhawk 64657, turning final for runway 18. St. Charles.
Sullivan traffic, Cruise Track 393, setting up for 12 mile final for runway 24, Sullivan.
Alright, pull on some carb heat, keep it out of yellow there. Looks a little hazy out, so
Let's see what the weather is at Spirit. Again, I'm flying right through Spirit's airspace in order to get to Charlie's. So what I'll probably do right now is change my radios over, get Spirit's in. It's about a 10-minute flight. Let's see. Oh, it says with the winds it might be a little bit longer. So we'll just keep on cruising that way, check the weather, and see what the visibility is here at Spirit. Alright, so looks a little hazy out. Visibility isn't fantastic, but it's kind of the way it goes here in the Midwest in the mornings. Usually isn't this bad when we're flying, but yeah, it doesn't look great over that way. Luckily I'm heading this way, so anyways guys, I'm going to probably turn both cameras off to conserve battery today because I got a lot of filming to do. So what I'm going to do is turn them back on right as I'm about to enter Class Delta airspace. And then usually when I'm entering Class Delta, I'm pretty close to Charlie's anyways. So there was a deadline. There was basically a deadline. I had to get it at a certain time to help my buddy out, and so that's why I got it so quick. So I also took a break off YouTube and a couple other things in order to get the flight instructor. It was definitely a lot of work. But all in all, it's been fun. I've been doing a lot of flight instruction, so I figured I'd show you guys. Yeah, it's going to be a fun time. Alright, so I'm a couple minutes out from Spirit, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them a call, request a transition to the airspace. Sometimes they reroute me, sometimes they give it to me. We'll see, so we'll give them a call and check it out. Spirit Tower, helicopter 9390, tails 1007 to the northeast. Request a transition 3 Delta to the southwest.
Helicopter 939er Sierra Hotel, Spirit Tower, transition through Spirit Class Delta is approved. Altimeter 3029er. I do have Cessna traffic in the pattern on the north side. If you would, just keep it north of the river.
Notice your hotel will remain north of the river. So we got our clearance to the Class Delta. At first we were not approved. We had to go around it. Sort of. We're still in the airspace, but had to go around the airport. But looks like the jet is landing, so we're heading straight there. I think I'm about 10 minutes away, so not too far. Probably going to turn off this camera again to conserve battery and then turn it on right before we get there, I think. I'm not sure. I might just leave this one in. But yeah, again, about 10 minutes away. We're going to go right over the airport through the Class Delta. So sometimes, depending on traffic, I get what I want. Sometimes I don't. It's just the way it goes. Alright, about 3 minutes out from the airport here, or from the helipad. This approach is nice and fun. It's through some wooded areas. Depending on the sun, it can be a little bit tricky. It's kind of hard to see when you're coming in if the sun's kind of out of the southeast, which it kind of is this morning in the winter time. But anyways, long story short, yeah, you just kind of hug some hills, hug some power lines, and then you turn over in this like bowl is kind of where the helipad is in this hill. So it's kind of a fun approach. First couple times you do it is definitely nerve-wracking, but once you get the hang of it, your speed and everything and what you need to be, it's nice and fun. And the 22 is, it's a lot easier to slow down than the 44, so it's always fun flying in there in this thing, nice and small. But anyways, yeah, I'll show you guys that. But yeah, the plan is I'm going to pull into the helipad, I'm going to get out, rig up all the GoPros on the 44 for flight instruction. I'm going to pull this helicopter inside the hangar so that way it stays nice and warm because the hangar is heated at Charlie. So that's very nice. That way when I leave, the helicopter will be plenty good to start up and I won't have to heat it. The reason I heat it at my hangar is because mine isn't heated, so it just gets to the same temperature as it is outside, whereas this one stays at like 50, 60 degrees, which is really nice. So the helicopter is nice and warm. You just pull it out and start it and go. So I'm gonna pull, after I land, I'm gonna pull this helicopter in and put all the GoPros in the other helicopter. And yeah. Well, one thing that I'm not really sure if I've ever said is that I am a flight instructor. I wasn't ever planning on being a flight instructor, but the last couple months, things have changed, and I ended up getting my flight instructor rating. I think all in all, it took me a month to get it because here's our power lines, right? Yeah. So anyways, it may be confusing, like, oh, Matt's a flight instructor. Yeah, I am. So I probably haven't said that in any of my videos, but it just was recent anyways. So I've been doing some flight instruction. I figured I'd take you guys along and see what it's like. This approach, we're getting pretty close here. There's Brown House there. There's the helipad here. So you hug these power lines once you find the two houses, and then you turn inward. There's the hangar there. You can barely see it, but I see it. So I hold 1,000 feet over these power lines here, turn over this house a little bit before it, and then I just shoot a straight in approach here. So there's only one way to shoot this approach into it, just because the way the terrain is. So again, it's going to be hard to see, really hard to see until we get lower. Probably on camera, it's not going to look great here. All right, we made it. Here's the helipad. There we go. Set down here. We'll start a timer. And then pull this thing in. We have made it. Alright, today we're going to go over to Washington Airport. It's about a 5-minute flight here from the helipad today. Mike's going to fly us over. I'm sitting in the left seat as the flight instructor. Mike's in the right seat as a student. We're going to pick up the helicopter together, come to about a 5-foot hover, look around, do our pre-takeoff check. We're going to head out of here just because it's a confined area. And then once we get going, then Mike's going to take over and fly us all the way there. And hope you guys enjoy. So let's get started. Alright, so we'll need some carb today. Look at that. I got a full pull done. It's barely out of the yellow. Let's get our strobe on. That's in. Go with the altimeter switch. If you click the ALT button here, Mike, it'll turn on our transponder. That'll give us altitude reporting. There you go. Full fuel.
I'm gonna run it up, just the magnetos.
Sounds good.
Left is good.
1,000, 2,000. Right. Good. Alright, let's do our sprag clutch check. So close that throttle and look for the needle split. There we go.
Split.
And then low rotor RPM or light check. Just go up a little bit. There you go.
There we go. Good.
Works. Good.
Alright, I'm gonna turn the governor on and roll it up.
Alright, all of our checks are done. Go to passenger brief, wheels off, all doors secure, seatbelts on, warning lights off, except the governor. Let me put my seatbelt on. Radios are set. Is that Washington there? We got Washington in and standby. Is that the weather? Let me plug in the weather for us here in Washington.
I see Washington's not giving us any kind of readings.
Yeah, it's been down recently, huh?
Yeah, and aero weather's not showing anything.
Alright, roger that. Alright, everything looks good here.
Taking the friction off.
Friction's off. Let's get to that sweet spot a little bit. I won't get rid of that. Shaking. Got us programmed into Washington?
I do.
Alrighty, sir. Alright, I'll be on the controls with you. Got pretty light winds today, so make sure that's all the way off. Friction's all the way off there. You ready?
Yep.
Alrighty. Alright, so we're going to bring in a little collective here on the left side with our left hand and maintain our attitude nice and level here. So we start to come up, start to add a little left pedal. As we start to come in, there's light on the skids, 17 inches, 18, 20, and we'll pull up and a little bit back. Do our hover takeoff check here. Go a little half cyclic here, left turn here, clear left. Alright, everything looks good. Let's do a max performance takeoff. So we're going to pull in power, get that left pedal as we get through translational lift, and hold 40 knots for the max performance takeoff. That'll give us our best rate of climb over these power lines. Hold about 40 knots, red line power. That's pretty good right there. This thing's got lots of power today, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to reach down and pull some carb heat in for us.
Didn't even get to the red line.
Oh yeah, no, we're good. Alrighty, sir, you have the controls.
On the controls.
You have the controls.
On the controls.
Alright, so go to Washington. And let's cruise about 70 knots today. Look at this. It's all of a sudden, all the clouds are gone. It's a beautiful day, isn't it,
what
Mike?
a great day.
Beautiful
Not different
day.
than yesterday.
Yeah. Yesterday been a good day. Not a good day yesterday. I'll talk
It took me a little while, but I finally got the altitude in 70.
Yeah, I was gonna say you look spot on, man. We haven't flown in a bit, and you just picked it right up real quick.
Check the bill, Peter. 403, Foxtrot X-ray, 10 miles, straight in, 31.
And watch traffic helicopters, 6000 Romeo is 1,300, 5 to the east inbound for Washington, and Kilo Whiskey, you guys on this frequency?
Why don't I see my distances on the map?
I'm gonna go to helicopter air to air here, hold on. And so St. Louis air traffic helicopter 126 Kilo Whiskey, you guys on this frequency? They're just not on any frequency, I guess.
To show the distance on there, I can't see how high up they are.
You're good with your spot. They're 500 feet below us. I think they're right above the river or something. I know they're surveying those power lines. Those power lines right there to our left.
Yeah.
You can bank a little left. They're far. Stay at this altitude. You'll be fine. They're 500 feet below us. You see it down there? It's spooling down right in that pasture right there. Right ahead of us. It's kind of hard to see. Mike, one question you might get from a DP is he'll say, all right, Mike, today you were power limited. What are you going to do? And what he's asking you to do is a running landing. So in this helicopter today in hover, we got to hover about, what, 23, 24 inches of about 23 inches of manifold pressure it takes us to hover. It takes a lot of power to hover. With a running landing, best part about it is you can touch down this helicopter on the ground with like 15 inches of manifold pressure because we're staying in translational lift. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's a running landing just like an airplane. So you set yourself up like you're doing here. This is looking great for a shallow approach just like an airplane would. So when you come down, we're going to land like an airplane, but instead of being at 60 knots, we're going to be at like, 20 knots, just in translational lift. That's a running landing. So I'll show you how it's done. Do it together. You can watch my movements on the controls. I have the controls.
You're on the controls.
All right. So as we come across here, we're about 50 knots. So we want to fly into a hover taxi. Okay, fly into a hover taxi. And then when we're in ground effect, we're just going to stay in ground effect, stay about 20 to 30 knots depending on the winds. Right now we have a little bit of a quartering headwind, so I'm going to watch that. But we want to stay in translational lift, and I want you to keep looking at my manifold pressure the whole time, I want you to watch that, okay? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep coming down. I'm going to keep some airspeed. See, we're lined up just like an airplane, aren't we? So I'm going to start to bleed a little bit of my airspeed off, but I'm going to stay in translational lift. So there's translational lift. Look at my manifold pressure. I want you to watch it the whole time. So as I'm coming down, I'm just watching the runway, keeping us pointed in down the runway, and then just nice and easy, put the helicopter down, let it slide. Maintain directional control using the tail rotor and the pedals. They still work just fine. So we touched down at about, what, 15 inches of manifold
15
pressure?
the whole time.
Sweet. There it is, much better.
All right, flight instruction all done. We're gonna take off from the helipad. I'll show you guys a departure out of here. It's really fun, but yeah, 44 is pulled in now, the 22 is out. Did a little swap-a-roo, door closed. I'm gonna head out of here by myself in the little 22. So, all right, I'm gonna put this camera on my head.
All right, we are good to go. Did mag checks and everything. Air clutch check, good. Pulled up to 100% and get out of here. I'll show you guys this departure. It's pretty fun. Alrighty, so next on the agenda, my next pit stop here is a R44 Raven 2 that my buddy just bought, and he's having trouble with some circuit breakers. I think last time I was there, we had a problem. He ordered some circuit breakers, so I'm going to swing by there kind of on the way home anyways. It's out in that area towards Lentzville. So I'm going to swing by there. I'm going to replace his circuit breakers. The reason why I'm going to do that, one, he's my friend, but number two, mainly, is because I'm an AMP. You can't work on aircraft unless you're an aircraft mechanic. I'm not sure if that's another thing that I've mentioned in my videos or not. So this is, you might be confused, like, oh, why are we doing mechanics things as well as pilot? I do both. So as well as a pilot, I'm also a mechanic. So today we're going to help my buddy out. It's pretty boring stuff, but you guys will find it interesting, I think. There's 2 circuit breakers right here, actually. I'm not sure if this front camera will be able to see it, but it's basically just, you got to pull the bus box out, replace them. Shouldn't be too bad of a job, and then we'll see if it starts after it fixes the problem. And then maybe we'll go for a flight in the 44. I'm not sure if I have time or not today. But that's next up. It's about 6 minutes away here. It's a nice place, actually. It's a air park. It's like a grass runway, and then there's like a helipad. So I'm going to fly in there, replace that. I'll show you guys what I'm doing. And then after that, I might go grab some lunch, getting kind of hungry here. So again, 5 minutes out from that, this is the next stop for a little maintenance thing. Paul needs a fly later today, I think. So we're going to try to bang this out here in a couple minutes. Hopefully it shouldn't take too long. All right, about 3 minutes out right now. I'm going to call my approach in here to the air park. This is a private airport. You technically need permission in order to land there. You can't just go in and land at any private air park or airport. But luckily I have permission, obviously, because I need to go there. And I think it'll be an interesting spot. Not a lot of people know about these things. They're literally called air parks, or like flying communities. They just have a runway and then a bunch of houses around them, and people live there, and then also have a hangar. It's like a little neighborhood community where everybody's a pilot or has a plane, or some people don't. All right, here we are. So these are all homes that have hangars and stuff on them. It's really cool. And they just line up with the runway right there. You see this grass runway. It's a really cool place. A lot of these places are pretty expensive though. I think there's one YouTuber, I forget, I think he flies airplanes and he has a house like one of these. Lands at his house, pretty cool. And there's the R44 already out. So there it is there. I'll have to pull it in order to work on it. But there's the helicopter. There's the house. Here we are. Yeah, there's no park in his front yard.
All right, look at this landing spot. Got the R22 next to the house right there. 22. I need to grab my tool bag and get into these circuit breakers, so shouldn't be too big of an issue. I'm probably gonna pull the 44 in here and get into it. But it shouldn't take me very long. I'll show you guys what I'm doing here in a bit. All right, got the R44 here. I closed the door so that way it's nice and quiet when I'm working. Luckily, I was able to stop by and fix this since it's kind of a small problem with the 2 circuit breakers. 5 amp and a 2 amp. Shouldn't be too big of a job, I hope. And hopefully that solves a problem that they've been having and they'll be able to start it. So, all right, so here are the 2 circuit breakers here. There they are. Those are the 2 that need to be installed. One is the clutch start, and the other one is the horn start. So clutch and horn, there's the 5 and the 2. These are the 2 that need to be replaced that have been having these problems, the other AMP thinks. So I'm going to install them because I'm here. All right, I'm going to grab a screwdriver, pull this out, and see what's in there. All right, that's the guts. Those are guts of the circuit breakers. So let me take this door off here. Fix a better rope for myself. Now I can get in here, no problem. All right. Okay, so I want to take the horn start clutch breaker out. So the way I'm figuring this is in between these 2, which is those 2. So it's that one right there. So I'm gonna unscrew that. There we go. Loosen that up. And this breaker should just fall out to here. There it is. Here we go. Here's the faulty, we think, is the faulty switch. So I have one more of these to do. Kind of does. Faulty. Maybe not. All right. Here we go. Let's put the new one in. Here's the new one. Okay, so bad circuit breaker here, as I said. Here's our good circuit breaker. I just tightened this. It has a little nut here, so you tighten them in. So I tightened that down. That's good. I also plugged it in. Everything's snug and good there. Now we have to do the other breaker, which is the clutch start. So it's this one right here. Okay. Finished up, the two breakers are in. There's the clutch start, which is there, and the horn start. And I just did a test in here by seeing if it would crank and turn on the avionics, and that all was good. Finished up by hitting all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these screws, and it has 5 on the back side underneath the seat. Put those in. Hopefully that solves the issue. We won't really know. But yeah, that was a nice little project. Didn't take very long. All right, so next up, we're gonna pull the helicopter out, and we're gonna see if it starts, and then hopefully it doesn't go fly. I think that was the problem. Just finished up the breakers, pulled outside, closed the door. If the door's open, it's just gonna blow everything everywhere. So look at this beauty. We are going to start it up, put the GoPro on my head, and see if it starts. So I don't think I've started a Raven 2 on my channel before, so I'll show you guys a little start procedure on that. But I'm just gonna start it up, and I might pick it up or whatever. But I really want to make sure this thing starts and it works. So hopefully that solved the issue. Let's start it up. Clear. Okay, so first I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prime the helicopter instead of giving it a twist of throttle, and then ideally it's just gonna start right up. That's the plan. So we'll see. Close the throttle. Master strobe on. helicopter. I'm sure eventually I'll fly this in my videos. I've been flying it a lot recently. Thing down and get out of here. And I'm gonna take off in the 22, head back to the hangar before it gets too late. Alrighty, got the R44 all tucked away. It's good to go. Problem solved. So yeah, did a little bit of maintenance on that, fixed the circuit breakers. So I'm gonna head out of here. Got the 22. All right. Come on. All right, no problem. It's calling your dad. Here, let me see.
I've run cars on that
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah, it should be fine. Should
Spray them into like a diesel intake.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I'll just give it a little. Thanks. We'll see if this does it. Usually a starter fluid, it'll start up first try with it. All right, I got Jeremiah and Trace helping me out here. They're over here in the corner. Help me out with some starter fluid. So helicopter's not started because it's cold. Try it one more time. Hopefully this thing starts so I can get out of here. Yeah, that's usually what we do. I just don't. All right, so little update here. As you can see, I tried to start the 22. It's too cold. Said no. Luckily, I got some help over here. I'm leaving this hangar, and the guys were nice enough to give me some starting fluid, which I tried and didn't work. Now we're gonna try some heat underneath the crankshaft or underneath the crank oil case. That's usually the problem, is that oil just gets too cold to start. So this is the problem with helicopters and specifically carbureted engines. So I'm gonna start filming this. I kind of neglected because I was trying to get it started here, but now we're just sitting here. As you can see, they have a truck and they're backing it up with some heat. We're gonna try to get this helicopter started. It's getting cold and the sun's starting to go down, so we'll see. All right, so we got a group effort out here. We got Trace on the heat gun here, hooked up to the car, and then we got Jeremiah's helping with our starter fluid. He was kind enough to supply the heat gun and the starter fluid. He's been a big help. He's neighbors with Paul. And at this point, we are sitting here. It's starting to get cold. The sun is starting to go down, and we're trying to get this thing here. So thanks for helping me out, guys. Hopefully this does. Trace is going right on the crankcase there. That's where that heat, that oil is, and I think that's going to do the trick. I really think it's going to start right out after this. So at least I'm praying. So, anyways, that's where we're at right now. This has turned into about an hour job instead of leaving. Trace finished up here, so we're going to give it a try. You're on this duty. Jeremiah's gonna give us some starting fluid. I'm gonna just crank this thing, see if it starts up. We will see. I'm not 100% sure yet. So we'll see. All right. Trace, you're on camera duty now. Just hold that. You can look at the screen. If it gets dark, just tap it. All right. All right. Now we'll see if this thing's starting. All right, it's not looking hot for us. It is cold, and yeah, 22 is just not starting. So I think I'm gonna be either stuck here. I'm gonna have to get a ride home. This is the brutal part of day in the life of a helicopter pilot. So hope this last time starts. We just took some shifts in the heat gun. I don't know if it's gonna do it. We'll see. This is round 2 though. We just tried it. It didn't work. I thought it would, but it didn't. So we're gonna see right now if this works. If it does, thank God. If it doesn't, I'm gonna have to figure out a way home. So. All right, last test here. Please work, please start, please start. Come on. All right, thank God the helicopter started. Man, if it did, that would have been a bad day.
Woodliff Air Park, helicopter 9390 Hotel is departing the area to the east. Woodliff area. That was pretty much all the flying on today. Flew a lot, did a lot of different stuff today. But I think that'll be it. I'm just gonna head back to the airport. Got a couple more things to do. I gotta pull the helicopter in, get home, as I have something going on at night. But all in all, it was fun. Did a lot of different stuff today, which I enjoy doing as a helicopter pilot. So we're just gonna cruise on home, enjoy the night flight here. Maybe I'll put up a time lapse for you guys. But either way, it's been fun. Head back home now. Pull the helicopter in and get to bed before it gets too late. So.
And finally, it's so cold out, as you can see, but what a beautiful night. Just finished up, just landed here at the hangar. Check it out. Look at this view. And look at that sunset. That's one advantage to being in the middle of nowhere, is seeing an insane sunset at the airport. Long day. I did a bunch of different stuff today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The helicopter's all tucked up next to some planes. I'm gonna shut these hangar doors now and get out of here, get home, get some dinner. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys liked and what you didn't like. I'll try to shoot better next time. It's so tough doing a bunch of different things and trying to film everything and updating and chopping it all together. So appreciate it, guys. I'll see you on the next one. This was a day in the life. Me, a helicopter pilot and a mechanic. Did a lot of different things today. And if you guys like it, I can do more of this. So anyways, I'll see you next time.